Hey, teacups, it's your girl Monica. Welcome back to the All About the Tea channel. Joining me tonight are Teacup affiliates, please.
Hey, happy Sunday.
Yay! Happy Sunday. We also have the Bishop in the building. Hey, Bishop.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Good, good. We also have Schoolboy. Hey, Schoolboy.
Hey,
Hey.
still relaxed, still relaxed.
Sunday. Okay. It's Sunday. All right, y'all. First and foremost, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I need you to hit that subscribe button down below. And if you already subscribed to the channel, go on and bang that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the piping hot tea that we serve on this channel. All right, teacups on the agenda this afternoon, approaching evening rather. We are recapping OWN's new reality series, Belle Collective. Marie's tragic life is on display, and Tambra Cherie bucks on Antionette. Let's get into it.
A website called All About the Tea.
She told all about the tea that during the fight.
All right, y'all. So Kaylon has organized a farm event, and she's invited Tambra, Antoinette, and Latrice. The ladies gather. Kaylon claims she wants to buy a goat, okay, because she's tired of mowing her lawn. And we all know goats are good for that, eating up the grass and grooming your landscape. So she wants to buy one. The ladies gather, they talk, and Latrice brings the ladies up to speed about her anniversary drama with Cliff. And they chase goats around and they laugh and they're happy. Does anyone want to comment on that opening scene?
Production really ran out of ideas, baby, because I'm sure being a nurse practitioner in Mississippi, she can afford some lawn men to come cut her grass. So that was just a setup from production to see them out of their element because they knew they were going to show up to a farm in those shoes that they showed up in. But other than that was it. It was underwhelming.
Class took the words right out of my mouth. Ma'am, get you a daggone lawn service. Get off my screen with this mess. This scene right here. This was ridiculous.
Boo, I wasn't here for it.
Why is Kaylon even there?
That's the question.
Yeah.
Why do we got the Grand Wizard's daughter on this show?
The Grand Wizard.
Why?
Oh my goodness.
I just kept looking at TV like, why are you here, man? Why are you here?
Yeah, it made no sense to me. And if she's planning events, is Carlos trying to sneak her in as a castmate next season? I don't know, but I don't like it. And it was a pretty boring event. Anyway, moving on over at Marie's house. Now, this is where the real action happens, okay? Dr. Chandler stops by to counsel Marie, her son Jerez, and his baby mamas. One of Jerez's 3 baby mamas couldn't make it. So it's just the 2 that are there with Marie, Jerez, and the counselor. Marie wants to establish a better chain of command in terms of their money requests to her because her health is declining tremendously and she can't take the stress anymore. She's suffering from lupus and fibromyalgia. How do you pronounce that word?
Fibromyalgia.
Myalgia. Yes, fibromyalgia. And has to take up to 12 pills a day plus an injection, which makes her very drowsy. So when the children are there, when they bring all these babies over, she's falling asleep. She can't take care of them. She's not capable because of the medication. So she was explaining to them, when these children come over, she has to stop taking her medication, which is ridiculous. So she could be alert and take care of the babies. She wants them to pick up the load. She can't take the pressure anymore. Please sound off. What were your thoughts on that?
I'm glad she had the conversation. Unfortunately, They should have had these conversations a long time ago, but it's never too late. The kids are still young. I wanted her to have more conversations with Jerez himself about how he needs to set up. I mean, if I were the grandmother at this point, I don't know if Jerez would be in college. You know, he made some choices that resulted in 3 lives. He may be like at a trade school getting a trucking degree or CDL license, like something that can bring in money for him to provide for his children quickly. When you make decisions that result in responsibilities, sometimes your game plan for life has to change, just like young mothers do all the time. They have to delay school. They have to delay other things because they now have this child. And I don't think the fathers should not have to make those same sort of decisions. Even if the requests funnel through him, it's still going to be the same level of stress because she's still putting out more than she's getting in help and assistance. I was proud of the young lady who kind of extended an olive branch to the other young lady to say, hey, can we, like, I don't know if they had beef before, but can we put some of this to the side and at least let the boys get together as brothers and get to know each other? I wish the other young lady had been there to do that. And it's just sad that on reality TV, we can't see the full picture because I'm like, why are they only coming to his mother for help? That's the way it comes off. Where are their families? Where are their mothers? She should not have to just take over watching, especially multiple kids at once. It's one thing if she has one of the grandsons, but to try to have all 3 with her health conditions, it's just too much. And I'm glad she kind of reined it in and called in the cavalry. Now I hope Jerez listens and steps up as he should.
Why is she? It seems like she's financially taking care of the babies as well. I agree with you, Plez. They all agree to take the load off of her. And when Tori asked KK, you know, can they be friends? That was a grown-up moment. You know, can we be friends so I don't have to call Miss Marie to say, can the kids come and play together? You know, and KK was like, that's fine. We could do that. Child, they need to stop. They need to stop with the weed. Okay. They smoking blunts 24/7 over there. That's why all these babies are here. Schoolboy, what are your thoughts?
My first thought was vasectomy. Okay. You need a vasectomy, sir. You do not need to make no more children because by the time you get 25, it might be about 4 or 5 other babies running around here. Marie needs to stop. She is his problem. She's his enabler. So how you going to expect him to be a man and step up? What needs to happen is, sir, you don't need to be going to school and living off campus or whatever you fool-la-la you doing. You need to be somewhere in a job, J-O-B, and go to school at the same time. If you cannot do both of them simultaneously, just like Plez said, trade school, get you a trade or something. You need to do something where finances are coming in. She needs to cut off her purse. I don't know where these girls' parents are, and they probably like, we ain't support nothing because we didn't tell you to go out here and make these children. But there needs to be something pushed on this young man because he acted like he was slow and he could not comprehend nothing that was going on. I'm gonna do something. Yeah, and he let them. And I mean, Marie, I'm you know. When your health need to come first, make a decision because between this husband that's fool-la-la and this son that's fool-la-la, you supporting everybody else and they doing what they want to do and she's taking care of everybody. So 90% of her stress is what she got going on in her household. If she clean that up, maybe she wouldn't be so mean to folks and maybe her health can get in check. But until then, I mean, I don't see no hope for that son because he act like you said, stop smoking weed. Put the weed down.
Well, I mean, he clearly knew his mother was really sick. He said he found out in like 10th grade or something. But I think she's bringing it to TV because no one's changing their behaviors. He's still continuing to be reckless because she enables it at the end of the day. But I think she's bringing it to TV so it can be on video. We have proof. Y'all need to help me. I can't take it no more. I'm dying. I felt so bad for her,
Cut the umbilical cord and get him off the breast milk. He be all right.
God takes care of babies and fools. Absolutely.
Amen.
Bishop, what are your thoughts?
I enjoyed that scene because it was a come to Jesus moment with everybody in the same room. The only people was missing was the other baby mama and the husband. But I kind of felt like it was a little chemistry between the therapist and Marie. I'm not saying they're doing anything, but I felt like there was like a little connection. Like even the last time when they came in the room, it was just something magnetic between them two. I don't know, maybe it's just me. It seemed like that's more of her type. But just listening to them, it was very mature of that young lady extend the olive branch with the other young woman, so the moms can come together. I just wish the other one was there. That way they could have all had that conversation together. And every parent knows their child. She knows her child is a little touched, y'all. She know he a little touched in the head. And he probably didn't know how to handle the pressure of his mom being that sick. So people turn to devices, of overdoing it with the substance, and also he making these 3 kids within one year. They're from what I understand, ain't the kids only like a few months apart from each other? So he made these kids. He came into college with no kids, and then had kids, bam, just like the last year. It's like, man, you move real quick. So it wasn't like he was reckless before then. He became reckless like within his middle, years of college. So it's like he probably shouldn't quit. He just need to go ahead and finish if he's like in his early 20s. So if he has like a year or 2 left, he might as well go ahead and finish it. She has the means. She's not worried about the money part. She's worried about him actually taking care of his kids. So I don't know.
Yeah. And you know what? You may have money, but it doesn't mean you have money for the entire world.
Yeah.
You have a household, you have businesses to run, you have your own bills to pay. So she can't put these people on lifetime support with her money now. She can't be their ATM. He needs to go on and get a job and take care of his Mexican triplets. Enough's enough. We've had enough. That poor lady is pretty much on, life support at this point. I feel so bad for her. It explains why she's so angry. All right.
Did you say Mexican triplets?
Yeah, that's what he had. That's what he had. What they call them, or Irish triplets. I mean, choose. So Antionette goes on a date with David. They met in Ghana right after her divorce, and she's totally smitten. He's feeding her strawberries. He seems like a nice guy and very sugary. What are your thoughts, Plez?
I think you are shady AF.
Okay, no, he's a very nice man.
Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know if because of her experiences in Mississippi, she's like completely off of white guys, or if I don't know. Everything about her just seems so orchestrated and planned to me. It's like when Latrice, the last episode, when Latrice was in her bedroom, saging the bed, talking about we gonna get you a big black, what in here. I'm like, is that what she said she wanted? Because when she was meeting with the contractor, she was all Google-eyed over him, talking about how fine he was. So look, girl, love who you love, but the date was cute. I like that she wanted him to come back, but I did like that he was supportive and open to like coming back and walking into her world and showing her support for opening her business. Him living in Seattle, though, I was like, you're going to start off long distance like this? For me, I always think practically, like, how is this going to work long term? You're clearly setting up roots, opening up a practice. Does he have a job that can come back and forth? I know that's a lot, y'all. I know y'all are like, girl, it was one date, but that's just how I think. What are we really doing here?
Right.
Long distance is always very weird for me. So I wish him the best. And I hope he's not sugary, as you say.
It was very nice, though. Very nice. Schoolboy, what are your thoughts on Antionette?
I'm tripping on the sugary part. I mean, it was cute for what it was. I just can't see her with a black man. Is it me or it just didn't seem like it was, I don't know. I just can't see her with a brother. He just looked like he was too down to earth for her. I don't know. She gives me a lot of fake vibes that this is a fake, for TV. So I can't, I don't know. And then I'm with players. Okay, long distance, like people be tripping about long distance, like 30 minutes is long distance, or 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. You talking about a whole other side of the country. I wish him well. I hope it works out for him. God bless him. But bruh, she ain't black enough. I don't know. I don't. I'm sorry. It's just something about her just ain't right. I feel like we not getting the real her, and this is just. I mean, y'all talk about Tambra Cherie voice being, high pitched and valley, but Antionette's whole aesthetic is that. So I'm confused.
Well, Tambra, the street jumped out, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you a chance, boo, in this episode. April, thank you so much for the super chat. The way Monica distributes the shade is simply perfection. Thank you for coming from you, the shade queen. I've learned so much from you, queen. Thank you. Bishop, what are your thoughts? Does Antionette and this David have a chance? Is there a future for them?
Yeah, I believe there's a future for them as far as like sharing clothes. But I mean, as far as some romantic, I don't see it, because I really tried to give it a chance, and I was watching it. I'm like, I don't know what this is about, because I feel like these are two girlfriends catching up, but then he tried to feed her that grape, and it was so cringeworthy. Like he just put it in her teeth, and she had to finish it herself. I was like, and then when they took the pictures together in Ghana, she like this leaning on him like her homeboy. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, is they really trying to push this romantic thing on us? Because I like I don't want to question nobody's sexuality, but I felt like I think he's looking for a man and she's looking for a white man. I'm like, I think they both looking for white dudes. I was confused, and she said he was recently divorced. I was like, okay, who's he married to? Was he married to a white woman or a white man? I was confused, so I didn't know which way to take it. So because I couldn't see him with nobody black, so, and I can't see her with nobody black either. So I mean, I think they'll be pretty cool homegirls, but I just I felt like it was a straight up blouse moment. I did. Oh, Symphony said it. He's a blouse. Yeah, he a blouse. Yeah, but I think the real her came out towards the end. We'll talk about that later. But the real her came out.
Yeah. And then the Oreo jumped back in, so it was just a bit much. Okay. Over at Marie's, her BFF Essie, she's over there to console her because her husband, Marie's husband, has jumped ship again. He's gone missing. He went to the store to get a pack of cigarettes, never came back. Essie tells Marie that her husband is not the one. She kept saying, he is not the one for you. It's time to drop that zero and get with this hero, as in Essie. You know what I'm saying? That was that moment. Marie, come on, y'all. Let's just keep it real. We all know Marie, they got divorced. Then they got back together. They're not married right now. They just got back together maybe for the TV show. And, he's over it. Plaz, what are your thoughts?
I just want her to let him live his life, and I want her to live whatever life she wants to live. People hold on to dead things all the time, and I do not know why, for the life of me. Like, you are, at some point, yes, the other person is trash, but at some point you're doing it to yourself. And at this point, she is doing it to herself. That man has shown her time and time and time again, just from the simple fact that they were divorced. I don't understand people who are married. Like, it's one thing if you're just like dating back and forth on and off, but when you get married and then go through a whole divorce, just to or attempt to remarry the same person, I don't get it. Because clearly there was enough for you. You don't go and get a divorce lightly. Like paying attorneys, going to court, getting all these documents done, sitting through mediation sometimes. I ain't no way in HE hockey sticks you coming back over here. Like I just cannot. I don't know, like you said, Monica, if she just wanted a man for television purposes. Because he always looks like he don't want to be there. He barely be holding them kids when he holding them. He doesn't look engaged in the conversation. He didn't want to be there when he had to talk to Jerez. He didn't even really talk to Jerez. S.M. Marie did more talking than he did. So I never want to be like, as a woman, that you don't need a man. I definitely don't think that. However, I do think once we take provision out, and according to Marie, she has provision down, men are there for protection, for safety, for comfort, and he is providing none of that. So at this point, you need to go on, dismiss him and do bad all by yourself, as they say. Like, I just, as you said, she put on more pants than he does in this relationship. So maybe that is where it needs to go. But just get rid of him, girl. Don't put yourself under any more stress for anybody.
Good points. Yeah. Schoolboy, what are your thoughts?
What was that song on Fantasia's first album? If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. Please free yourself. Yeah. Please free yourself.
He did.
This man, how you gonna go get a pack of Newports and don't even come back? Because he looks like he smoked Newports. 100s, not the soft box, but the hard box. He looked like he smoked Newport 100s and he just did not come back. That man said he got his whole house he be at. So who is at his house is what I want to know. And why do he still got access to the money to be going on these trips? Is another thing I want to know. What is going on here, man? Look, if y'all don't want to be together, please stop forcing it on TV. You don't have to have a man to be on TV. Look at Real Housewives of Atlanta. Ain't none of them her heifers can't keep a man. Okay, and it's okay, and they still on TV. You don't have to put on airs, Marika. Just let that man go. It's painful. And I'm like, players, he up there when he holding them kids, he be looking like, damn, why am I in this scene with these damn kids? Somebody come get this baby. He don't want to be there. And, I don't know, they said they ain't together. I don't know if they sisters or not, but that's a little too close for comfort. I didn't have homegirls, you know what I'm saying, that have been gay, and I have one non, but we ain't that damn close. You ain't coming to my house telling me what's going up over here. We don't do that, but hey, they say it's sisterly support. Well, y'all go ahead with y'all sisterly support. But that's a little too much support for me.
She like the man of the house. I don't know. He gives me Ned the Wino vibes from Good Times, honestly. With them suits on and stuff.
He do look like him.
Don't he look like Ned the Wino? Bishop, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts is when I seen them two talking, all I kept picturing was Miss what was her name? Miss Braxton and the song by Tamar, My Man. That's all I kept hearing in my head when I watched that scene. I'm like, why is she so amped when she talking about her friend's husband? You need to leave him. You need like ma'am, like, is you sleep with him?
Yeah.
Because you should like call his phone, call him. I bet you ain't gonna answer. Oh, why do you
last time?
Answer? Like last time, and I'm like, because he's in your house. Oh, he leaves his phone in the car. Like, a lot of the routines that her husband do. So I'm like, and after a while, when she's miserable and she goes through a divorce, you're gonna be coming parading around, skipping and talking about, I got me a new man, and you start describing the same man that she had. Is that what's gonna happen? Because I feel like it's gonna happen next season. Because Carlos Kings love to pull all your bones out the closet. And he gonna expose you, and Jackson's not that big, you know what I mean? So, ma'am, it's starting to really, it's coming off like you sleeping with her husband. Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of bass on her chest. I'm telling you, and her, just a lot. You need to leave him. Like she's the mama or something. Yeah. She's really girl child. The rumors might be true. Who knows? Okay. Who knows? But I honestly feel now though, Marie's too sick to even do anything of that nature with anybody. I can't picture somebody with a strap on. Okay, let me not even go there because y'all heard the rumors, y'all. I can't. She's too weak. She's not well. Anyway, we're gonna keep this thing moving. Letitia and Tambra meet with the councilman Stamps over at City Hall. Since her brunch, no one at City Hall will take her calls no more. Okay, they're done with her. I mean, the word around town is that she's all about drama. She's not serious because of what happened at the brunch. So Letitia's there to apologize, make amends, because now I'm starting to wonder, Plez, is she real serious about this Ferris Street stuff? Because now, some flags are going off for me. She apologizes about the drama. She claims it's not what she stands for. He explains that he took a step back after the brunch because of all the gossip around town. It's, Jackson, Mississippi is big. Or is it it's Jackson, Mississippi, right? It's big, but it's not that big. And word gets around, and he doesn't want his reputation to be, harmed by associating with her. He explains like he stepped back. The brunch left a bad stain around town, all because of Marie. Letitia claims her reputation is on the line, and she don't play with that. Sis, if that was the case, you wouldn't be inviting Marie everywhere and defending her, like she your mama or something. Plez, sound off.
Yeah, Jackson is not big at all. It is the capital of Mississippi, but it's when we look at population wise, it's not considered a big city in a metropolitan area as would be like in Atlanta or even in New Orleans. But it is one of the urban and metropolis areas of Mississippi. But with that being said, it is very small. There are probably less than 6 degrees of separation. And because they're shooting a show, all of these things are going to bring natural attention to everything that's going on. Ferris Street is well known. People are going to be very protective because it's a certified historical area. That's why she can't just buy that building. Even when if she ever gets into the renovations of it, there will be parameters on how much and how far she can go as far as renovations. Probably once she gets to leasing out the space, there will be limitations on who and what types of events can be held in that area. So I think, like we said last week, she hasn't done enough homework. She really does not know what she's in for. I don't think she has a solid business plan. I think it's a great idea. I encourage her dream, but she has a lot of background work that she still needs to do. And she needs to bring in other people who are educated and knowledgeable of all of those processes, political allies, financial allies, business allies who can help her refine her image. Business is a very specific type of thing, unless you have your own money, and she doesn't. She's relying on other people to buy into the vision. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Marie might not be able to come to future events. Marie might have to revert to being a silent partner at this point, because she does not seem to be able, even though she's a professional and has her own businesses, it doesn't seem like she knows how to check her emotions. Not saying she was wrong to feel the way that she felt about Kaylon. I think all of us felt that way, but she wasn't the person to address it.
Mm-hmm. And the way she went about it was just unprofessional, and it caused a ruckus. It did. Schoolboy, what are your thoughts? Tisha's now saying she's not even saying she has second thoughts. She apologized to the councilman for what happened, and she claims she's serious about this project. But when you're serious about something, you don't bring people like Marie around. You don't.
She lucky he even let her have a meeting with him, because he could have been like, you know what, I'm just not at all. And as a councilman, yes, he does has his own reputation to uphold and keep himself in his city council position. Because if not, that will cause people not to vote for him because you're sitting around here associating with this type of mess. With these brunches, these quote unquote empowerment brunches, I have. I'll say this. I have an issue with a lot of these people branding this empowerment mess and this manifestation, all this other stuff. A lot of people are not doing the work for genuine doing the work. It's a cash cow. Okay. Everybody's trying to hustle it. Everybody been trying to hustle it for the last 2 to 3 years. You got to make sure you understand what you are getting into and what you are attending, because everything that you listen to is not, you shouldn't take in from certain people. Now, aside from that, I think she has, once again, just like Ples said, I think she has an awesome and a great idea. The problem is I can already see this woman is not business savvy at all. Okay. Everybody is not meant to be a business owner. Everybody is not meant to be an entrepreneur. I don't think she is meant to be that. And she could be that if she has the right people that understand how historical renovations go, how it works, all of the ins and outs. She needs someone on her team that knows exactly how this works. And to be honest, let's be real. If it was not for Tambra Cherie, she's the one that saved her from this even still wanting to go forward, because to me, the impression that I got was that they were done with this in regards to her because of everything that happened. Marie is a loose cannon. Yes, you are a businesswoman. Yes, you own 10 or 12 businesses, but ma'am, you don't know how to carry yourself in public. You should never let somebody gaslight you to that point. Yes, Kaylon was wrong, but that was when Tambra Cherie should have, stepped in because she was the host. It's just, Marie got that ghetto side, and I'm telling you, when you're trying to do business, everybody don't want to do business with that. People don't want to do business with that because it's a bad reflection, and it makes them wonder how you handle your own personal business. And she's lucky to still have this on the table, because I'm gonna tell you, a major city bigger than that would have said no. She wouldn't. The door would have been closed. Like Mimi Leak said, the door is closed. The door would have been closed, and they wouldn't have got back in. So she's very lucky that she's in a smaller city like Jackson, where they're still willing to entertain this. Because if it was me, I wouldn't entertain nothing they got going on, because it's giving me too ghetto hood vibes. And even though it's not that, and not all of those women are like that, one person will spoil it for everybody. I hope that she gets it together. But Marie don't need to even be a part of it. I don't even think she need to be a silent partner, because she's not the type to be silent.
Yeah, Bishop, what are your thoughts?
Is her name Letitia? Her business plan looks just as bad as Tamra's outfit that she was wearing when they went to that business meeting. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
I was like, a train wreck with the business plan, a train wreck with her outfit, a train wreck at them brunches, a train wreck in their households. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, I felt like I was getting hit with a freight train watching this episode. I'm like, okay, is Tambourine really going into this meeting looking like that? Like, I know she got the connections, and I've been thinking, I really want to do this, and I had to call up a few people so they can help my good friend Letitia out, because I know she didn't really mean to do that on purpose, but sometimes as the host of these brunches, things just get out of control, and we had many brunches and it does not go like that. And I'm like, really? Like, you have to emphasize that so hard, ma'am. Like, okay, God help us. But folks talking about their reputations. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, first of all, you want me inviting Marie to these brunches if you was worried about your reputation. How your friend like to pop off, and your friend loves cameras, so she gonna make sure she make a show. And then you got your friend Tambourine. As soon as she would have came out the house, I'm like, you dressed like this for the meeting like that? Like, I really believe these people are not friends, because no friend let their friend go out the house looking like that. She was wearing like a teal blue see-through whatever, and then a hat that was like black and then red under it. And I'm like, What? I was like, wow. And you mean the councilman looking like that? I'm like, wow, okay.
I know. It's a shame. It's a damn shame. I know. It really is. All right, y'all. Let's keep it moving. We're gonna keep this thing moving. So Tambra goes on her second date with LeBron. Is that his name? LeBron?
Demond.
Oh, Demond.
Yeah, not LeBron. Not Lebanon, not Lebanon James.
I will assault a name now, okay? And I knew there's something at the end with the bronze. So, okay, should we talk about the date? Y'all want to talk about that?
Don't you like his name could be Brody?
He seems really nice, though, actually. He's really nice to entertain her bullshit, to be quite honest with you, on national TV.
He need to move on, like Maya.
Yeah, I think he's just doing that for tea, like doing her a favor, like a friend. Yeah, I'll meet with you. We can talk about baby. Sure.
Didn't he look uninterested?
Yeah, he looked like a good friend, like a brother. It's like a brother-sister relationship, Mm-hmm.
Are we sure they were sleeping together? Because I'm confused.
Child, who knows? That's the other thing, too. Vanita, thank you so much for the super chat, my love. We appreciate you. Yeah, so Tambra holds a sistervention because, she went to the meeting with the city councilman and heard everything that was said. And she's actually very concerned about Letitia's reputation because her and Letitia are real friends. Tambra has hosted numerous brunches for Letitia. They're real friends. She's concerned. And I think she's starting to realize Marie may be a friend on the side, one of those friends you have, your girl, how you doing? How you feeling? We can go have brunch, but you can't bring her to a business meeting. You can't do business with all your friends. So, the wheels are turning, it's clicking for Tambra, and she feels it's time for a sistervention with Letitia. All the ladies gather at Tambra's house, except Marie, of course. Tambra tells the ladies before Letitia arrives, she brings them up to speed about the meeting with the councilman and everything that took place there. Letitia finally arrives. Tambra gives her a glass of wine and tells her to come on in. She quickly realizes, like, oh my God, these girls are here for me. They're here, for intervention for me. And they all start to explain how problematic Marie is and yada, yada, yada. And Letitia goes on the defense about her friend. She's not receiving the message. But here's my thing. Maybe she is receiving the message. Maybe she knows, but she doesn't want to put her friend on blast in front of these other ladies. Because I probably wouldn't do that to my friend either. If I have an issue with you, I'm going to pull you to the side or, offline. We're going to have a discussion like, I love you, but you're going to have to cut this shit out. Your behavior is now costing me money. You're ruining my reputation. I love you, but we probably shouldn't do business together. So that's what I think was happening is I cannot for the life of me believe that Letitia is that dense to feel that Marie, there's no problem with Marie. What are your thoughts, Plez? We're going to get into that whole fight in a little bit, but what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, unfortunately, I do think she might be too dense.
Okay.
I think she's not even dense. I think there are personalities like we're seeing with Letitia on Love and Marriage Huntsville with her mom and Candy and her mom. There are people who believe in loyalty at all costs, whether it's detrimental to themselves or not.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like for some reason they trying to rein someone in or separating them. I believe in friend groups. I'm sorry. I have friends, different friends for all types of things because everybody aren't interested in the same thing. I have a friend from grad school. She's the one I hang out with at all the Mardi Gras parades. We the only two crazies that's gonna, camp out overnight to catch some coconuts. Friends might not be able to go to the professional events. Everybody is not a code switcher. Let's be clear. Everybody cannot do it. Some try their best, and it's just not in their capacity, as we like to say. So to protect your bag, you may not be able to take everybody with you. Everybody is not meant to go all the places that you are going. Doesn't mean you're better than them. Doesn't mean you shun them as people. Mm-hmm. It just means you might not mention certain things, And so that's what I want Letitia to take from it. Especially if this is Letitia, if this is where she wants to go and grow her business, I might give Marie one more chance. I do believe in sort of a like 3 strikes you're out type of thing. Like I would have the conversation with my friend. Hey girl, the councilman has put me on notice. This has put me on notice. Other people around town, the older lady that was there put me on notice. So I might invite you to one more thing, but after that, if you still want to support me, you may need to be a silent partner or something like that. But I don't think she should just cut her off. I think their intent was good. I do think when you walk into any situation like that, you're going to feel ganged up on, no matter how it's relayed. Their delivery was a bit off, particularly with Antrice and Antionette already having their issues that they haven't fully apologized to Letitia for. Because at the end of the day, yeah, Marie can show her butt, but you don't have to respond. And I don't feel like everybody is owning their part, their respective part throughout this whole thing.
In her talking head confessional, Letitia said that this is affecting my reputation and I'm worried about it. So that's why I think she knows, but she didn't appreciate being put on in the hot seat like that. And the way everybody was coming at her, Marie this, Marie that, and there's always a backstory. You never know what people are going through behind closed doors. She's not going to tell them all her business. Schoolboy, what are your thoughts about the sister intervention before we get on to the fight?
Wasn't nothing Cicely about the intervention, because I mean, at the same time, if y'all really wanted to talk to the woman about what was going on with her friend, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, and how it was said was just wasn't nothing Cicely about that. And I do think, some people in like Plas said, some people will take a blind loyalty. That's not how real friendship works. Yeah, I might defend you in public, but please believe when we get it from around these heifers, I'm taking you to the side and I'm letting you know I don't agree with what you're doing. And you need to, fix yourself. It's a portion of holding your friends accountable for their behavior. And that's a problem. And when you enable folks and you make excuses, they're no longer become a victim. You become a volunteer for the situation. I think a lot of times, Marie likes to use the things that are happening in her life as maybe being a victim, and necessarily a lot of it for me is you're a volunteer because you could clear a lot of that up, and you don't have to be going through that by holding the other people in your life accountable, so you ain't out here taking it out on other people. Letitia also needs to understand, just as Player said, not everybody is meant to go with you everywhere. You have certain friends. I have certain friends. They don't go to the gay events because they don't like to go to the gay events because they scared somebody gonna hit on them. Though the gay people ain't worried about hitting on you. We just want to party and get the drink on. Girl, you better get them free drinks. Everybody ain't in there to hit on you, but everybody, is not comfortable in certain environments. So you don't take those friends there. You don't take those friends to the 5-star restaurant that, cannot read the menu properly and be a little bit hood. You don't invite them there. You take them, to other places that, are the regular, degular, schmegular places. That everybody is not able to code switch. Everybody is not able to be in certain rooms and be able to hold that side in. A lot of people, that's just naturally who they are, and that's how you take them. And they refuse to change. And that's another thing. You cannot control other folks. The only person you can control is you. I think sometimes you have to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. I just think that Marie, for what she's trying to do on a large scale and what Fair Street means to not only Mississippi and not only the Jacksonville, but to Black history, sometimes you just can't take people with you when you're doing certain things. And I just don't feel that them ladies even held it together. And Latrice got her own natural beef with her because the way Marie came at her about that head, she ain't never let that go. And Antionette, of course, that's her friend, so she's gonna ride with her. And then, they've all had separate issues. So I don't think. And then Kaylon was there once again. We don't know why she's here. She shouldn't have been there. So to me, it was a whole bunch of daggone gaslighting, and it shouldn't have happened that way. I think there should have been another conversation, but it shouldn't have been that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Bishop, your thoughts on the ambush, right? That was more like a sister ambush, not an intervention.
Yeah, no, and this is it seemed like it was very planned, and it's just like it seems so phony, and I don't think half y'all's really friends with each other, to be honest, because it just, again, you don't let your friends walk out the house looking any kind of way. I'm just saying.
Stuck on it. He's stuck on it.
And I'm just like, Tambourine is so, it was kind of a little phony, a little too. I you know, every time you try to like baby Carrie Hilson, she just do something a little weird. But I didn't like that little, you know, low key, like what Karen said, gang bang. They try to jump her, you know, and get on her about it. And it's like, it's easy for y'all just say, hey, you know what, Letitia, your friend Marie, she can't do business because she's messed up your reputation. It's not saying that we telling you stop being friends with her. You can be friends with her, but she cannot be a part of business, because if she's a part of it, none of us is going to be a part of it, because your reputation is going to be mud, and we're not going to be a part of our reputation being dragged in the mud either, because you don't know how to separate business from friendship. That's simple.
It's true. New York's finest, absolutely. The street jumped out, and I was like, okay, all right, let me give this sister another chance. So in the midst of all this back and forth, all of a sudden, this fight breaks out between Tambra and Antionette. And when Tambra started to put her hand up and move her hand in a certain way, you know, that hand, that street, you know, I recognized it right away, okay, because I've seen things. And she started to move her hand in this motion. It was a very street motion. Her voice changed. I was like, okay, girl, so this is the real you. And she just started going off. I gathered she was mad because at the end of the day, we all are Black women, and these are all Black women. And yes, Marie has faults, and we should address the faults, but we're not here to tear her down. Am I right in that assessment? Because that's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
impression I got from Tambra. It's like, wait a minute now, you're taking it too far. And, you know, Antionette, you know, bless her heart, you know, she's an Oreo cookie. And, you know, in her mind, I don't know if she sees Black or white. I don't know what she sees. But in her mind, Marie is, you know, Satan. She's wrong. She's this. She's ghetto. She's trash. She's that. And I was proud of Tambra for saying, wait a minute now, you're going too far with this. Let's just stop, okay? And let's just regroup. This is not what I wanted at my house. And I have a feeling that Tambra and Marie are friends too. She's friends. She knows Letitia. She knows Marie. They're friends. Antionette and Latrice are outsiders. What are your thoughts, Plez?
I think what you said was a bit right, or my perception was more so that Tambra is just pretty much old school, just like the issue she had at Antoinette's house. I think her issue is that she knows this is being filmed, so it's gonna go across on national TV. But also, she was still carrying over her feelings from what transpired at Antoinette's house, and she did not like that they were addressing a Black woman amongst mixed, as we like to say, mixed company. Those are internal discussions you have. You don't have those types of discussions where you are criticizing another Black woman. Some might call it disparaging, whatever, but where you're criticizing her and her actions in front of white and or other non-Black women. And it was a lot of different people at Antoinette's gathering. So I don't think that was a fair place to have the conversation, especially once Marie wasn't there to defend herself. She was not here. She wasn't invited. Why bring this up here? And Latrice and Antionette were going very hard at that event.
Yeah.
Then once they get to the house with Letitia to have the conversation, it still started going they were really showing their elitism, right? It was a lot of elitism. It was a lot of respectability politics, which is what goes on, honestly, in our lives and in our conversations. So it was a very honest conversation, but I think Tambra is definitely one of those people who believes we don't have these conversations in public. This is a behind the scenes kind of conversation. There's a way that you address her behavior without using certain words. But as Black people, we always know you're going to have that subsect of people who kind of look down on others for whatever reason. Um, it's not an easy thing to get through. I just want them to kind of look at the bigger picture and be better persons for the overall of the project. That includes Marie, though. But I think there's a way you address her actions without using terms like ghetto and things like that. Like you can do it without all that.
That's true. That's absolutely right. I agree 100%. Schoolboy. Bernice raised a good question here. Antionette, where did the colorist come in when she was art? Huh? I didn't understand that. Did you?
Well,
No.
it's because she was attacking her Blackness. So Tambra said, you must not be whatever type of Black woman. So Antionette took that, and that's what it kind of was in this light of you're not a Black woman who believes in solidarity as Black women should. And so that's like, okay, well, you can't be a Black woman either then if you've never experienced colorism. I mean, it was both of them were taking low blows to me at that point because I don't think it's right to attack Antoinette's Blackness. Like we said, Blackness is not a monolithic experience. Some Black people are raised around predominantly white people, or they come from an upper echelon part. They don't necessarily identify with the South or with the quote unquote ghetto or with poverty or with whatever. It's just more classism and elitism. And so they were trying to find ways to go at it. The last, I'm gonna leave this alone, but why did Antoinette, that was the ugliest face I had ever seen in my life. Like, I'm like, why are you so aggressive? She looked like a rabid dog at that point. She was just, I didn't understand her method of arguing.
But is it classism? Is it elitism? Because Tambra, when Tambra said you don't, you're not a certain type of Black woman. Why does that have to be associated with ghetto, though? Why? Because in my mind, it's not. It's not. I totally got where Tambra was coming from. I know in my family, people in my circle, highly educated Black people. I mean, like big time, okay? CEOs, all kinds of people that are so down to earth, are in tune with their people, our struggle, our culture. So I'm trying to make it make sense. And it's not making sense for me.
I don't think, I was just like listing a bunch of different things. I don't think she mentioned as ghetto, but she was definitely attacking her Blackness.
Right.
And I am a Black woman who believes in the whole, we shouldn't have, we don't have certain conversations in mixed company. But I very well know that there are lots of Black women that don't think like that. They think we should be able to talk about whatever we should be able to talk about when we talk about it. We don't care who's watching. We don't have to put on a show or be an example for other people. If Marie was acting ghetto, I should be able to call that out no matter where I am. And so by Tambra saying, you're not the type of Black woman who believes that we should be a solidarity, have a solid face in front of other people, that was an attack on her Blackness. And Antoinette just came back with another attack against Tambra's Black. They were fighting the way they saw fit to fight, but they were both attacking each other's Blackness, just in different ways.
Well, I saw how Antoinette was attacking Tambra's Blackness about the colorism, which is so ridiculous. Didn't even make no damn sense. Because Tambra deals with other issues. She has other isms that feature isms, that she needs to deal with. She got a big let me don't get started. Anyway, Schoolboy, what are your thoughts? Because this is getting, what are your thoughts?
I mean, that's what wasn't that what racism was found on, conquering, dividing us?
Yeah.
Ain't that what we do to each other? We conquer and divide. And so when I watched the whole thing, it wasn't nothing but conquer and divide. And the same isms we don't like them to use, we were using on each other in that moment. The colorist thing, I was like, well, what the hell? Carlos, did you cut something out, sir? Put it back in, because I'm missing something. That I missed something.
Right.
It's just the conversation, and I have certain friends that, like Claire said, they don't give a damn who around. We gonna have a conversation, and we don't care white people in here, Latino people. We gonna call you out to the carpet. Then you have other black people that do not like to have those conversations in front of other white people. I think, and this is my thing, I didn't even know why was Kaylon, once again, why was Kaylon there? I didn't understand that. Stop implementing this woman here. And I think that is mainly a lot of people's issue is Kaylon. And I think a lot of people's issue is the way she kind of carried that in that moment at that brunch. And that's not sitting well with some people. I don't think that, and if they know where her family background comes from, that might be another issue as of why the conversation didn't go too well in front of that woman. There are certain things that I just feel like Antionette likes to use her blackness when it's convenient, and when it's not convenient, she doesn't use her blackness. There's a lot of black people that do that a lot. They people say, oh, it's a form of code switching. No, it's a lot of them that they just don't want to identify too much with the black side. They're always trying to prove to white people that black people are not like that. She gives me that vibe. Oh, we're not all like that. I understand. Hell, I didn't even know what a hood or a ghetto was until I moved to Baltimore, because I grew up in the suburbs. I knew nothing of that life, but I got my street smarts from living in Maryland, and I'm appreciative because then now I understand all walks of, different walks of life and variations. Some people just don't know it because either they choose to be ignorant to it, or they just don't want to be associated with that because they want to feel like, if I lessen myself from that portion of black people, it's gonna help me get further up the corporate ladder or whatever I want to do. And it is true, there's not very many black dentists, not very many black doctors. So if she's trying to more or less placate to one side to get further up the ladder, that's what she's gonna do. Latrice, I think her issue is just that head thing, and I want her and Marie to let that go, because clearly that man that stole the good hair and gave her some bad hair, and that's what that was on that end. But I just think that they just shouldn't have had that conversation. To me, they shouldn't have had that conversation with Kaylon in that room, because that woman used that moment to play a Karen role, which I didn't appreciate. And I still don't appreciate, and I still don't understand why she is on the show. Carlos, you need to tell us why she is here, because we don't know why she's here. But it was very embarrassing, and this is like, as black women, I mean, when is it going to get to a point where we stop arguing on TV over tacky stuff? Because even if y'all didn't like Marie, there was a certain way that y'all could have addressed that issue and talked to Letitia in a way that it wouldn't have put anybody down, or it couldn't have got this argument to the point where we clapping hands and we putting hands in the face. Because that's when both of them, I said, oh, the black, it's out. Okay, so y'all want to pull it out now. It just, the whole fight was weird, and it was stupid, and it shouldn't have got to that point. And I think they just needed another scene, to be honest.
Yeah. We also got to do the Love and Marriage Huntsville recap, and I'm really interested, and that's my favorite. So we're going to wrap this up real fast. Bishop, share your thoughts on the little back and forth fight that they had, thing they had going on.
It was two white girls fighting. That's what I thought. And the reason why I'm saying that is their hoods start coming out, or whatever neighborhood they came from. I'll start coming I'm like, whoa. I'm like, they dropped them white scents real quick. So, but they to me, I knew what both of them were saying, but I have to agree with Tambourine. She was right about that. You don't have to have a conversation from a mixed company like that, and then you're gonna call her out while she's not there. It's like it makes you look stupid, first of all, and it also makes it like you don't have no respect for fellow black people as well. So I understood what Tambourine was saying. Antionette can't grasp it because she wants to be included so bad to where she start licking the bottom of Kaylon's shoe for a hobby and doing the past timing of her her leisure time. So, it's just a hot mess. And I'm still trying to figure out why the Ku Klux Klan Grand Wizard's granddaughter is there. I'm still confused by that, but
yeah,
we'll figure that as the show keep going on.
And I gotta agree with Tamra. We shouldn't be acting like that in front of Kaylon. The conversation went too far. It really did. And that's why Kaylon feels so empowered and emboldened to say the things she says, because Antionette has those conversations in front of her. And, so I got to agree with Tambra on that one. I don't like that type of Black folk. I'm going to tell y'all right now, you're supposed to keep certain things private, But it is what it is. Not everybody's the same. Anyway, let's wrap this thing up. Kudos to you, Carlos King. Now I see why you created this show. I'm all in. This is actually pretty good. It held my interest a lot last night. For the last 2 episodes, it's held my interest. Plaz, where can they find you?
Hey, y'all can find me over on Instagram at scared_of_beautiful and here on YouTube at Scared of Beautiful. Just enter spaces instead of the periods.
They're saying, see, I didn't see Kaylon, so that's why I be thinking, you know what, I need to stop drinking, because I'm like, wait a minute. Kaylon
she wasn't at the house. She was at Antoinette's house. She wasn't at the sistervention. That was
I saw her there. I thought she creeped up in the back, that white sheet. My bad.
Ooh, I thought so too.
That was Latricia's
assistant.
Yeah,
that's what I thought too. Right, and she was Black. She wasn't. Okay, just light skin. Schoolboy, where can they find you?
You can find me at school_boy on YouTube. You can find me at that same handle on Twitter, and on Instagram, you can find me at school_boy_2021.
All right. And Bishop, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube at The Bishop, where I'm casting out devils and confused Black people. And you can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Bishop Redpill.
All right, y'all. Listen, we're ending this here, but we're heading over to the Love and Marriage Huntsville link video. That live is up. Just click on it and join us over there. We're taking a party over there. We'll see y'all in a few minutes. Bye, everyone. Bye.